This my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis. Who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis? Yeah.
It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis, the crypto news review. Look, today we've got to talk about a Bitcoin miner that pretty much hit the lottery. I'll explain what that means here in today's episode. He pretty much found the block and won $250,000. A single miner. That is like 1 in 1.3 million chance of that actually happening. And I'll explain what that all means if you're not familiar with the whole mining situation and how that goes. I'll explain, but we also got something out of the Golden State Warriors. Yes, Klay Thompson and Andre Iguodala will be taking a portion of their salary in Bitcoin. And this is all thanks to Cash App. Cash App is not new to this. They've done this with Aaron Rodgers and a number of other influential athletes and personalities. So this is something that we'll see more and more of, and I'm going to give you my two Satoshis on what this means for Bitcoin, if anything. And then lastly, we've got one that I think isn't getting enough attention, and that is the fact that we have popular Indian cryptocurrency exchange listing Sheba Inu. And you know, you may say, hey, this is a meme coin. It has already pumped drastically. What can this actually do? Well, we talked about this on last weekend's Off the Chain episode. If you missed it, make sure you go check it out. But we talked about basically what, you know, banning Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies means to a country like China, where they have the largest population. It actually means a lot. It means that Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets are missing out on additional demand from 1.4 billion people. So let's just take the second largest country, right? India. Well, seeing that they have reversed their decision on how they look at cryptocurrency exchanges in India, that happened actually last year, because remember, they banned any cryptocurrency activity on exchanges. Seeing that they reversed that, you're going to start to see the proliferation of cryptocurrencies in India, and that is a big market share to take over, you know. So I think we need to start looking at India as an important factor in the cryptocurrency space, and seeing that, you know, Sheba Inu has now been listed on a major cryptocurrency exchange over in India could actually mean something mid to long term. Maybe not in the short run. I told you guys many times before, you know, the crypto markets have to work out and digest what's going to happen with the Federal Reserve. Doesn't matter what little pops we get in the markets. From a macro perspective, the Fed is still the biggest threat to the growth and us taking out all-time highs with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So we got to make sure we pay attention to that. But we will take a look at this, and this one is out of You Today. All 3 articles coming up on today's episode of My Two Satoshis. Let's get it. But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. So the first article we can go over today really quickly is the Golden State Warriors star Klay Thompson and Andre Iguodala receiving their pay in Bitcoin. And, you know, this is again sponsored by Cash App. They've been really promoting the use or the payment of athletes in Bitcoin. We saw that with Aaron Rodgers. This happened last year. Even Tom Brady and a number of others, but specifically pertaining to Golden State Warriors, we've got Klay Thompson and Andre Iguodala. Now, my whole thing about this, and here's a quote from them: "Bitcoin is the future. Klay Thompson and I both are believers." Thompson also made a tweet saying that I'm with Bitcoin because I believe it's the future of money. Do they really know what money is or currency is, the difference? I don't know. Maybe they do. You know, I'm not going to say they're not up to speed with, you know, the monetary system, how that goes. But I think this is just showing us that there still is some confusion, in my opinion, about what Bitcoin is. Now, in the case of an athlete getting a portion of their pay in Bitcoin, I think that's great. Really, that helps offset any inflationary pressures they may have on their monies. Though they have the advantage to spend that money and the purchasing power of that money, they have a bigger impact, right? So they'll benefit from any type of inflationary event on other asset classes because they have access to those asset classes. But I think it does show that, you know, it's basically another hedge. Like, you're taking a percentage of your pay and hedging it against the dying dollar. And that's great. I think that's perfectly fine. I just don't think people fully understand and grasp that Bitcoin is not so much a currency that you want to spend every day, but more of a hedge against the inflation of the dying dollar, right? I think that is the most important thing that people still to this day don't understand. And I'm still trying to drive that home to people on a daily basis. So we did see the trend start with Russell Okong back in 2019. He said he wanted his pay in Bitcoin, and he really started or spurred that whole trend of athletes starting to get paid in Bitcoin. So we got to give him some credit for kind of setting the trend and starting that wave. Odell Beckham, another one, talking about taking their salary in Bitcoin. So you're seeing the trend happen. I think it's a good thing. It's just about whether or not they're going to actually use that money as like dollars, or do they understand? Do these athletes understand this should be looked at as like a hedge, another form of retirement, potentially a risky version or risky route, but more risk, more return? I wonder if they think that way, if they're thinking in that manner. You guys let me know. What do you think? You think these athletes really know what they're doing, or they just riding the train? Bitcoin, blockchain is a buzzword, and a lot of guys see money being made, so they just want to jump on board. But do they really understand the ramifications of this? Does it even matter? Let me know in the comments below. And another question I would have for you guys out there: if you could take your salary in Bitcoin, how much of it would you take in Bitcoin? And why? Let me know in the comments below. This next one is pretty damn interesting. If you guys don't know, like with mining Bitcoin, right? You can mine by yourself. You can be a solo miner, right? And it'll take forever, millions of years for you to ever potentially find a block on your own. That's why people typically use pools, where they can mush up their hash power along with other people and combine that to make the odds of finding a block a little bit better. And if that block is found, then everyone splits it accordingly, well, really proportionally to how much hash power they've contributed to the entire pool. So that's what typically people do, because it's so hard to find a block on your own. Well, this one miner, whatever, I don't know what he was doing, he or she was doing out there, but they had a miner going. It was only doing about 126 terahashes, and with only that much computing power, the miner only controlled about 0.00073% of the entire Bitcoin hash rate. So this is pretty crazy. I mean, this person literally, it was a 1 in 1.36 million chance of mining a block and finding it. They did it. And of course, we know for mining a block, there's a 6.25 Bitcoin block reward for doing that, for finding and solving that block, which is about $260,000. So that person or that miner did receive that for finding that block, which is insane. The article talks about how all the major Bitcoin mining pools boast hashing potentials in the exahash range, well off the measly 126 terahashes that this miner was working with. I call it luck. Some people are saying it's just persistence of proof of work, but I say it's luck, because if you go out there and mine Bitcoin on your own system with that little amount of hash power, it's going to take probably longer than you're alive. 200-300 years from now, you'll be gone. To be no point. So it's just best to pool your resources with other miners and get the job done, and at least you get a cut of something instead of nothing and hoping and wishing like lottery players do. Well, let me know what your thoughts are on this one. But lastly, I want to take a look at this one. I think this is huge. Sheba Inu now listed on a popular Indian cryptocurrency exchange. This is pretty big, because I wasn't even aware that they're allowing cryptocurrency trading in India now. I mean, I'm just out of the loop, I guess. They actually reversed the ban and allowed cryptocurrencies to be traded on exchanges back in 2020, 2 years ago. So I'm way late, but it looks like Sheba Inu and Floki Inu, which was added back in December, are now actively trading on this exchange here. So what does this mean for Sheba Inu? I mean, we'll have to watch it. I think possibly very bullish news for the coin going forward, right? It can put a nice bid under this token. So keep that in mind. Now, of course, this token, along with all other altcoins, are going to succumb to the overall macro sentiment of the space. And that is, what is the Federal Reserve doing? So as long as the Federal Reserve hasn't changed their tune, then best believe we're going to bleed out across all crypto assets. And that's just my opinion. But I mean, you know, Crypto Dominance isn't wrong too much. So take this news with a grain of salt for now in the short run. But long term, I do think this will help Sheba cement itself as a true coin to be around. I mean, none of these coins differentiate each other really other than the community. So if the community is big, then it will continue to grow and it will continue to head higher. Again, India is the second largest country with 1.38 billion citizens. So it's a force to be reckoned with, of course. So that could be a strategy for you to start looking at what coins are popular over in India and follow the trend, because that will, I think, increase over time. But that's pretty much it for today. I know you see the banner at the bottom scrolling across. Make sure you follow me on IG. That's Crypto Blood. No underscores, no anything, no numbers, nothing. And then on Twitter, Crypto Blood _ That's right, Crypto Blood _ on Twitter. It's my 2 Satoshis. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out here, people. Holla!